PSA, PSA. This is going to be a very long video. Make sure you grab your snacks, dinner, drinks, your blankets, get the recliners ready, couches. This is going to be a long one. So let's get right into it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here what you're seeing on screen is the official article from this morning's Uncarrier announcement, introducing T-Mobile's latest Uncarrier move, Phone Freedom. So here's everything in detail. So we're going to look at the pricing of the new plans, and we're going to look at several other things. I also have some talking points written down that I also wanted to discuss in this video. So this video, right now that everybody's seeing it, the hype is over, everybody's calmed down, everybody has looked at this in more detail perhaps. We're going to break this down very objectively, and I'm going to call it what it is, right? We're going to be honest. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in the comments. You guys will give me your opinion. I'll give you my opinion. And that's how we're going to go about it in this video. I'm not saying that it's a bad move, but I'm also not saying that this move is smoking a competition and it's going to blow your socks off. So, Verizon and AT&T currently offer phone financing that's the length of 36 months, which is 3 years. Now, T-Mobile bashed it today, but they also didn't give an explanation of why AT&T and Verizon have gone to 36 months. Right? They just talked about, well, they went to 30 and then they went to 36 months. So here's the number one biggest reason I feel that Verizon and AT&T went to 36 months. Now, I don't have a quote from the carriers or anything official from AT&T or Verizon. I am giving you a strong guess here, and I feel that that guess is very accurate. The reason Verizon and AT&T have gone to 36 months is because these phones are getting more expensive. So what you do is you stretch out the length of the term. That makes the monthly payment on that device when you finance it more reasonable. I think it's as simple as that. I don't think there's anything else to look into. I really think it's because the phone pricing, these $11, $12, $13, $14, $1,500 phones, when you stretch it out to 36 months, it's a more reasonable monthly payment. If you squeeze all that into 24 months, your monthly price could be could be $50, $60, $70. Who knows, right? And I think it's really just as simple as that. I don't think there's anything else to look into. I don't think Verizon and AT&T want to punish their customers and keep them locked in for 36 months. I really think the most sensible explanation to it is they want to make the monthly phone price more reasonable. I think that's all it is. So, for one, T-Mobile is not really solving a problem here. They're really not. They might be creating one, if anything, right? If the new iPhone comes out later in the fall and it's going to cost $1,200, you're now going to be stuck with a $60 monthly payment just because T-Mobile feels they want to do 24 months. And if T-Mobile feels like that's getting a bit out of hand, then what are they going to do? They might make you just do a higher down payment to keep that monthly cost reasonable. Right? They've done it before, and I don't see why they would do it again. So this could backfire on them. Now, they specifically targeted AT&T, their locked phone policy in this announcement, calling it Phone Freedom. So I think it could work in that sense that, yes, some AT&T customers are wanting to upgrade. They're going to see this, and they're going to be like, well, if you're going to pay off my phone and then give me a phone for free, then I'll lock in for 24 months with you. I was locked in for 36 months, right? But now you're going to lock me in for 24. But if it's free, I'll take it. I think that's how T-Mobile looked at it when they constructed this Uncarrier. And I think that's how the consumer has to look at it. But like I said, I think in the future, by keeping this at keeping the phone financing length term at 24 months, I think T-Mobile is creating a problem for them. They might have to go to 30 or 36 months eventually, right? These phones are just going to keep getting more expensive. And if the customer sees like, wait a minute, this monthly payment is going to be $70 a month, they might not upgrade. It's a very strong possibility. So I wanted to start off with that. So phone freedom, it's not really phone freedom. You're just getting bought out of your 3-year term, and you're getting locked into a 2-year term. Yeah, the phone might be free that T-Mobile's offering, but that's really what's happening. That's, like I said, that's me calling it what it is. They're buying you out of a 3-year term, moving you into a 2-year term. So not really anything to go, crazy about, or like I said, smoking the competition. Not happening with this announcement, phone freedom. So I wanted to clear that right away. So now we have new plans introduced today, right? The 5G Go and the 5G Go Plus, and that's going to be the leading unlimited plans for T-Mobile. Let's not kid ourselves. Like I said, let's call it what it is. The Magenta Max, that's done. T-Mobile didn't say it's officially retired, but it will be retired. You will only be able to get the Magenta Max as a new customer by going online. And you really have to look for it. And like I said, phone promos, you can forget it. That's going to be moved over to the 5G Go and 5G Go Plus plans. So the Magenta Max is going to be retired, and it's going to be retired very, very quietly. So the new plans, pretty much the same. Hardly any difference. Just calling it what it is. On the 5G Go Plus, they added 10 gigs of more hotspot. I mentioned that yesterday. I don't even use the 40 that come with the Magenta Max. And I know I said 50 yesterday. That was by mistake. I don't even use anywhere close to the 40 gigs of hotspot that come with Magenta Max now. So that 10, I don't think is going to be the deal that's going to make you be like, whoa, I'm going to switch to the Go 5G Plus. It's only 10 gigs. Now, for some of you, that might be a big deal, but I think that's like the minority. That's like the 1%. I don't think that's going to make majority of the base move to the 5G Go Plus. I just don't see that. And next, they added more data while traveling to Mexico and Canada. I could see that working. I can see that being attractive to move the base or move people off of Magenta Max that travel there frequently. I could see that. But I don't see that being the majority. I just don't see it. I don't see the majority of the base all of a sudden flocking to the 5G Go Plus because they added 10 extra gigs of data while traveling to Mexico and Canada. So outside of that, nothing really changed. Everything else is the same. Besides, you guessed it, the price. The price of the 5G Go and the 5G Go Plus is going to come in more expensive. It's going to be more expensive. That was anticipated. Now they did keep price lock and they kept taxes and fees. But how they're presenting it now, it's no longer part of the plan. It's now added in as a perk. And maybe that's how they said it before, but they're adding it in as a perk. They are making taxes and fees included in price lock a value of the plan. And I think that's a good thing, right? That's going to put a lot of people at ease, especially after Verizon and AT&T have been, price hiking everyone the last few months. And I'm not saying that T-Mobile didn't raise their pricing over the last few months. They just did it differently, right? They didn't necessarily raise the price. They just added activation fees. They just did it differently to where it wouldn't affect the consumer in a super negative way. So here you have the pricing, right? $90 for one line, which is now the same as Get More. So that you got to look at it for what it is. Like I said, the T-Mobile's 5G Gold Plus is now $100, same as Get More. The $90 price point you're seeing here is with AutoPay. That's already baked in. So T-Mobile's 5G Gold Plus is now the same price as Verizon's Get More on one line. Keep that in mind. I mean, take that for what it is. You know, like I was speaking with somebody earlier. Mike Sievert is getting bold. The brand is strong. They're getting very, very confident in the network, and we'll hear more about that later on. The network is expanding. It's getting really big. It's not on par yet with Verizon and AT&T, but everything included, right? The brand doing great. They do everything better than the competition, right? I know it's debatable and arguable between AT&T or somewhat, right? But customer service, T-Mobile does that better. They do it way better than Verizon, and I still feel they do it better than AT&T, although AT&T has gotten better, but they do it better. The billing, the back end, the app, it's just done better. So they feel confident enough to now charge the same as Verizon on one line. Now, where they do differ, of course, taxes and fees included, so that's still going to make it cheaper. And then, of course, the third line for free is still there too. Right? So while we're at this right now with the free lines, if you are on the Magenta Max, I've been told by several people now, I've seen several messages, seen several documents, you can transfer every single one of your discounts and free lines onto the 5G Go Plus if you so choose to migrate. The only thing, you will be subject to the lines that you are paying for. You will be subject to the increase of whatever the increase will be to move to the 5G Go Plus, right? So 3 lines on the 5G Go Plus is going to be $150. It's about a $10 increase versus Magenta Max. So yes, T-Mobile raised pricing with this rebrand of plans, and they're still cheaper for most family lines than the competition. So they did this very smartly, and that's how T-Mobile operates. They are a smart company. They are very disciplined. So today, by launching this rebrand of the plans and calling it an Un-carrier move, they got the attention of the media. They got the attention of us. They got several different tech blogs talking about it all over Reddit. And that's what they want to achieve. That's exactly what they want to achieve. So today was a win for T-Mobile. It was a clear win. No two ways about it. It was a win. It was a clear win. It put Verizon and AT&T at notice. They had to go into meetings and analyze how this would affect their business. All because T-Mobile did something that Verizon and AT&T already did and already have done. In fact, Verizon did this, what T-Mobile is offering today, in the early 2000s. I saw an article, new into, or whatever that's called. That's a slogan Verizon used in 2000. New and existing customers, which you will see, it's listed in here somewhere, but new and existing customers, who's doing that? AT&T. They've been doing that. But what I feel T-Mobile is telling us and showing us here, that they are confident that they can do it way better than their competitors. So they're offering the same thing. They're doing it cheaper. And they're saying that they're going to always honor new and existing customers with new phone deals. And they can do it better. Better customer service, better pricing, better value, better network. That's everything that they're claiming. They are now telling you indirectly that they are the best premium value carrier. And they're doing it by being cheaper because they have a better balance sheet. That is really what they're telling us. And they did so by getting everyone's attention. And I'm really surprised, honestly, and maybe that'll change because there's something coming from Verizon, and we'll talk about that in another video, that AT&T and Verizon have not caught on to this. When they do their moves, it's very subtle. They don't bring a lot of attention to the media, and it's kind of meh. When T-Mobile does it, there's this big uproar, and it's a big deal. So, again, we talked about the pricing. Again, prices have gone up. T-Mobile did this they snuck that in very subtle. They didn't even talk about it in the presentation that they are going to raise pricing. We just found out after the fact in the press release when they released the article. So some of the talking points that I want to go over to close out the video. Why switch from Magenta Max, right? We just saw there's really no difference. It's, for 10 gigs more hotspot, really, if you don't travel, you don't need that extra data for traveling. So why switch from Magenta? Why even offer 5G Go Plus? What's the reason? It's for the price increase. And here's how they're going to do it. New phone promos will no longer be accessible on the Magenta Max. So if you want to take advantage of phone promos for new and existing customers, you're going to have to migrate to the 5G Go Plus. You're going to be forced. You're going to be forced out of the Magenta Max, pay a little bit more just to keep new and existing phone promos. That's why you would have to switch from the Magenta Max. If you buy your phones outright through the OEM, if you have Apple financing, you can stay on the Magenta Max and it would be no different to you. Unless you really need that 10 gigs of extra hotspot and you travel back and forth to Mexico or Canada, this new 5G Go Plus does nothing for you. You still get Apple TV Plus, you still get Netflix on us. It's no difference. There's no difference whatsoever unless you need, like I said, the hotspot or the data while traveling. So again, outside of that, it's really about the phone promos, and I think that's where T-Mobile is going to get people migrating to this 5G Go Plus. So, and that's kind of the next talking point. What's different on the 5G Go Plus? Again, we discussed that already. It's just 10 gigs more hotspot and 10 gigs more data while traveling. That's it. That is it. That's the only difference. There's no other difference besides that. Will this further accelerate T-Mobile's growth? Now, that's a big one. We don't know. We will see what that looks like come April 27th for their Q1 earnings. There's a reason they're doing this. They didn't tell us publicly, right? But we know it's margins. They want to expand margins. They're still cheaper than the competition, so they can still claim the value piece. But they're looking to make more money while still maintaining growth. That's what they're all about. So that's why they're targeting the phone freedom, is to still maintain growth. And some AT&T customers, they will bite. Trust me. Now I couldn't put a number on it, right? I couldn't say that, hey, this next quarter, right, if Q1 is, let's say it is what the estimates are showing, 500,000, right? I couldn't say confidently that this move, phone freedom, attacking AT&T directly, is going to get T-Mobile to 800,000 in Q2. I couldn't say that because I don't know. I don't know how important that really is, right? Going from 36 months to 24 months. Now, people might get hooked on the fact that, hey, T-Mobile is willing to pay off this device, and then they're going to give me one for free. I think that's going to be the hook that's going to get people in the door. And I think that's what they're going to push marketing-wise. We're going to see marketing behind this. I guarantee it. And they're going to do it in their Magenta fashion. They're going to be loud, and they're going to put in, AT&T customers, if you bring your locked phone, we'll pay it up. We'll pay up to $650, and then you get a phone on us. That's where I think they hook people from AT&T, and that's what potentially could accelerate their growth. And then, how will AT&T and Verizon view this plan, right? So how will they view it? It's cheaper. It's very close in value to Verizon. Some may say it's worse. Some may say it's better. Just depends on what you prefer. Do you prefer the Disney Plus bundle? Then you might say Verizon has the better value. Do you prefer, in-flight Wi-Fi, taxes and fees included, price lock, Apple TV, Netflix? Then you might think T-Mobile has the better value. Just all about how you view it. But I do think that, of course, Verizon and AT&T's executive team tuned in. They saw these moves, and they looked at them, and now they're analyzing. How is this going to affect, especially AT&T? AT&T is going to look at this, right? Verizon wasn't really mentioned. Verizon does unlock their phones, so they weren't really the target in this Uncarrier. It was all about AT&T. You heard that name thrown around a lot during those 13 minutes. Now, AT&T, I guarantee you, Stanky and Miguel Frisch and everyone, they're going to get into a room, or that meeting likely already happened, and this is how they viewed it, right? They went in, they were like, T-Mobile's attacking us, right? They want to take our customers that are on 36 months, they want to pay off those devices, they want to trade them in, and then they want to give them free phones. It's a pretty big deal. So all they're really going to do is, in terms of viewing the plan, they're not really going to care about the plan itself, because it's been that way, right? Magenta Max was cheaper. They didn't really respond to that. Will T-Mobile grow potentially on that phone freedom? That's what they're going to look at. They're going to look at churn. Over the next several days and weeks, AT&T is going to monitor churn. And if they start seeing, like, hey, wait a minute, this is causing us a bunch of churn to T-Mobile, right? And if they see that churn spike to T-Mobile, they're going to be like, okay, yeah, this phone freedom is really affecting us. So they might have to respond in some way, shape, or form if that does happen, right? If the churn is barely spiking, not too much, they might not even care. They might just say, whatever, that's fine, that's normal. If we go from the 0.81 to 0.83, it's not a big deal, right? So that's how I think AT&T will view this plan. Verizon, they're not going to care to respond because they haven't. We will see what their move is in May when they report whatever they're going to report. But I don't think they really looked at this because, again, Magenta Max has already been in play, which is technically the same plan that they just introduced again outside of the hotspot and the data while traveling. And then the phone promos, right? How is this going to affect Magenta Max customers, right? Is there a possibility that T-Mobile gets more aggressive on phone promos on this new plan? It's a possibility, right? They go, the $1,000 off now maybe goes to $1,100 off on the 5G Go Plus, or maybe even $1,200 off, depending on the price of the newer devices that are coming out. So how does that affect the overall deal, right? Is that really going to tick off the Magenta Max customer in the future, right? And that's going to happen. It's really going to happen. There is no, okay, we're going to keep Magenta Max in the rotation. No. I'm telling you right now, I've been told very specifically in store, Magenta branding is not going to exist. It's done. They are finished. It's going to be 5G Go and 5G Go Plus. That's what they're going to present moving forward. And then you can still get Magenta Max online, but nobody's even going to be looking for it that's coming in new, because all they're going to see in their face is 5G Go and 5G Go Plus. So the phone promos are going to go to these new plans. And they could be potentially better than what we saw on Magenta Max. So that's another tactic of T-Mobile making the base move to the new plan. and then getting more money, increasing margins, increasing ARPU, increasing ARPA. All of that happens during that transition. And that's what T-Mobile's looking for, right? They got the attention of the media. They got the attention. I'm making this video right now. They got the attention from us, right? They introduced a new plan that they're going to make more money from while still being cheaper than the competition. That's a win-win. That has to be considered a win-win. So I'm going to close off this video here. Long video. Lots of thoughts. Want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. Again, just some talking points, some questions. Want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Very interesting announcement. The fact that they called it an Un-carrier was smart, in my opinion. Some of you might laugh at that, but I think it was smart because it got attention. It was all about marketing and attention today. That's all it was about. And of course, making more money. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel for more. Like, share, subscribe, follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See you in the next one. Peace.